Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks, and Crypto TA live stream. Today is October 29, 2023, Sunday, just about 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this is a educational live stream for the charts and requests. If you have a question or request, just go ahead and let me know in the live chat or in the YouTube comments for next time. This week, stock earnings season continues. It's a big week in terms of the biggest names. We have Apple this week, the last big tech company, basically to report their earnings. PayPal, Qualcomm, Eli Lilly, CVS Health, Pfizer, AMD, and McDonald's, just to name a few. We have some energy. We have some travel. We have some insurance companies as well, and some food companies this week. So it's kind of a big week as well. We finished finance companies, we finished tech, and we have some of the remaining companies this week. Now, the other big piece of economic data is the FOMC Federal Reserve press conference with the FOMC chairman, Mr. Powell, and he's basically either going to hold the interest rates or raise them. I do not think personally he is not going to lower them. Why? Because the GDP number from last week, from last quarter, actually increased. So GDP went up. And also PCE inflation was flat in line with expectations. It did not go down. So also the jobless claims data number as well. So basically, there's no reason I see on the data myself as an analyst that sees or that shows that the interest rates are going to come down. So we might hold or we might go up. At least sometime, there's only 2 more months left, right? This week, we also have consumer confidence, manufacturing, job openings, unemployment claims, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and services PMI as well. We have stock earnings season continuing for the next 1 or 2, 3 weeks. FOMC meeting this week. Now, in terms of crypto, Binance.com's trading revenue fell approximately negative 38%, and that was a Bloomberg calculation. Elon Musk also wants to create a complete payments and financial ecosystem for X, formerly known as Twitter, users by the end of next year. And this is not new news. Technically, if I read the article correctly, X was the original plan for PayPal about 20 years ago, approximately. So it's interesting to see that Elon Musk is not viewing Twitter or X as just a social media company. It could be a complete financial ecosystem. But personally, I don't want to trust my money with X social media or X. It's not, I need maximum security and safety for that, right? So it doesn't really match, in my opinion. So, combining those two, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it's going to change in a year from now. Also, former crypto CEO SBF, his trial is continuing with testimonies from both sides this week. All right, welcome everybody. We're going to start the stock part of the live stream. If you have a request or question, or if you just want to say hi, just let me know in the live chat or the YouTube comments. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and we have the X Twitter group as well. So S&P 500 on the daily, what is going on here? We're in a downtrend for about 3 months. And this head and shoulders pattern in the blue here, which is bearish, actually 100% came true. So if this is the measured move target, about 5.39% from the neckline breakout, we actually hit that target last Friday. So full disclosure, I'm actually short stocks and I'm long crypto right now. But right here, in terms of this descending trend, and I'm just, individual trader, just like everyone else. When I see this, however, we're getting this double bottom here on the RSI and the H4 chart. Looks like there might be some bullish divergence that's building and starting right now. So this could pop up to make a lower high, even in the H1 as well. So it's going to start off, kick off with the day traders at 6:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. And there's still a volatility risk because we have the earnings of Apple, and then we have the FOMC meeting that actually comes out first. So Wednesday and Thursday is going to be very volatile. So I can see this popping back up in the bullish case back up to 416 or 422 up here. We hit my X target. So I am going to just erase that for now. So target fulfilled. Now I do want to keep in mind, remind people on the weekly, this hit an EMA support. It's just about to hit 408 support. We might get a bounce incoming soon. So watch out for that. If this turns into a morning star, we could bounce back up to 423. So that's why I've been short. I might close it if we have a rebound. Now, if the data goes really bad, we can extend all the way down to 403 level or 395 or 400. So just something to watch out for there. Moving on to QQQ. QQQ as well, we were in a descending triangle pattern in the dotted yellow lines, and we did fulfill that and drop down below support. So again, remember for maybe one stream ago, I was saying we could have a bounce up, retest, and then a crash down. So once we had started having the crash down, I shorted the market on the rejection down from here. However, this, if it's full fulfillment of the measured move, it should go down -8% all the way down to about 327 area. There's a lot of targets here, so I'm going to erase all of them. They hit. We're at a level of support right now. So these are the targets that I'm seeing. We also lost that pivot point. Next pivot point down is 334. Our resistance is 346. And the big potential retest up here at 357 if the market rebounds off this double bottom RSI down here, which is definitely possible. Any good news, any good data that bounces us back up will trigger that move. Weekly as well. It's not fully ready to go here, but this could take months to play out. But just remember, we did have a descending price pattern here. So just something to think about is, personally, I've already been short in stocks. So I'm not trying to short now, tomorrow morning. I'm going to see what the data is and we're going to bounce or not. Just want to remind people very, very clearly, we are in a downtrend right now. It could be consolidation. Once earnings is over, if we have some good, amazing good news, then it could break back to the upside. But for now, we've been in this, it is technically a downtrend. Let's go to Dow Jones. Dow Jones as well. Now, I drew this large blue uptrending channel just to show people, once we lost this on September 21st, the 345 level, we did not bounce up to the upside and it turned into a downtrend, right? So we lost that support. So I can now erase all of this and box in my price like this with the resistance on the top and a support on the bottom. So we also are in a downtrend in the Dow Jones as well. Lost that support level, if I want to draw it like that. And I'm talking about these blue lines right here. So in terms of the price, we're at a previous level support, 323.84. The next level down is 320, 314, and 310. The resistance is above 328, 331, 336, and 340. So now there's plenty of levels for me to play off of here, in terms of, are we going to get the turnaround bounce up to 327 or dump further down to 317? A bounce, whether it's short term, is definitely possible. It's definitely possible here. On the weekly, the large pivot point is down here at 321. So that's something I'm just keeping a note of. Weekly pivot point. Let's set an alert just for good practice. 321, Alt A. And I'm going to say weekly pivot point price, EIA, just so we know. Now, it is down here oversold. It could keep going lower. Just for example, let's look at October 4 right here in this vertical and September 26 as well. So we're kind of here right now, right? Doesn't this look very similar where we had this in the blue circle, it dumped down, blue circle, and we have a double bottom. We have this in the blue circle, dumped down, and then we have a double bottom again with this building. So in a couple days, it looks like maybe this week, it could be perfectly timed with the FOMC meeting if this is gonna rebound or not. So I'm watching very closely for that. Very quickly, IWM. We hit the target right into the circle, bullseye. Now, please note here on the Russell 2000, October 2nd, we had the death cross of the EMA to the downside. It is already been downtrending. And one way to confirm that is head and shoulders pattern, neckline breakdown. That's one way. You can measure it, 10% to downside. We hit the 10% perfectly. So if we're going to stop here, and I'm also seeing some kind of Elliott wave pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, now we can have an ABC, possibly rebound correction down here, maybe a double bottom play. Possible. Also, we lost this support line. That's another way to understand how we're going to understand it's going to go down. And just using price analysis, this isn't a confirmed downtrend. This is not going up. This is going up on the left side of the purple line here. And then it's going down. So this is a very important case study. Very important case study of exactly how can somebody read trend for stocks and crypto, ETFs, Forex, whatever you're doing, is understanding how do I know it's going up? How do I know it's going down? Right? And then there's usually that top midpoint that can coincide with some kind of indicators or something like that. So, or you just have a price pattern up there. That's why. But are we going to keep dumping? Maybe, maybe not. It's towards the bottom here. Does that make sense? So if the big top ceiling is up here, and I can now put this in a giant parallel channel like this, we could rebound all the way back up to 178, and the bulls are going to be very happy about that, right? This is a descending wedge. We're going to have a breakout, retest, and then a rally. Now, if that's the bullish scenario, if all data is bad this week, then yes, we are going to probably pierce down into 159 or 158, 157 down here in this blue circle. Mark it for next time. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. H1 question. What is H1? That's up here. That's hourly time frame. I just say H1 because it's shorter, right? So you have the D for daily, W for weekly, 4H, or some people call it H4 for the 4 hours. 1H is 1 hour, 15M is 15 minute, 5 minute, right? It's just a shorter way to say it. But I'm talking about the time, multi-time frames up here. Thank you for following. Appreciate that. Let's move on to gold. Gold GLD, we had a nice rally, beautiful rally up here to the upside. Even continuation. So then this is day traders really pushing this up. And because it's a time of uncertainty, flight to safety, people are either going into cash, or they're either going into gold or going into Bitcoin, right? So we had a pivot point here as well, and we had a resistance breakout as well. For gold, I'm going to show the multiple ways somebody could analyze this, okay? Let's start over. So instead of saying, okay, what am I going to do now? And chasing a watch list or colors in the watch list, I'm going to put my resistance. What's that? Resistance ceiling 190.57. That's been a triple resistance 1, 2, 3 times. So they're very strong. Now we also had a support level down here at 168.37, the big one down here at 151. So now you can see it's kind of in this almost like triple, almost a rectangle. Almost. right? This one hit here, and this one was kind of floating around in the price. A conflection point down here, right? So we have this double bottom here, double bottom in terms of the supports. And then also I'm going to add in my most recent trend lines, right? So that's how, if somebody were to understand, combine that with oversold support play on this blue arrow, particularly right here in the yellow circle, that's where we know, and that coincides with kind of the top of the market move. That's how I know it's going to go up, right? Or if I go on the 4-hour time frame, it went from oversold to overbought. That was an easy 9%, 10% swing trade play. Sell that and get out of there. The problem is it's so high right now. It's getting high up here. We also had a weekly morning star that's also pushing us to the upside, and it's probably hitting close to some kind of pivot point right now. Just trying to pierce through that. If we go to like a 5-minute on an EMA cross, you can see it's uptrending right now. This is what, even bouncing off a 5-minute time frame. Okay, even like probably 1 minute, 2 minutes. So it's gapped up right now, but it's kind of in the high zone, overbought zone. We might get one more leg up, so we get a bearish divergence play in terms of this shooting up. Then the MACD starts to break down. Then we get the big pullback, right? Because we have a golden cross here on the daily. I'm expecting this to pull back somewhere here to like 183 or 180. So I'm not long gold personally. I'm still short stocks, but I might close that if we have a nice big bounce this week. Silver as well. We had a death cross, but same thing. We had oversold conditions. It could be interesting to pull up a Bollinger Band here. As you could see here on the daily, I don't always use Bollinger Bands, but in this one spot, October 5, it really poked out the bottom. Poked out the bottom, and that's a 90% second, I forgot what the word is, but the deviation, second deviation here in the settings, right? Standard deviation is 2. So beyond the second deviation is possibly greater than approximately 90% chance that something strange is happening, right? When it's inside, that's normal. When it's outside on the daily, that's not normal. That's not normal. And we have a hammer candle here. So there's 2 reasons already right there that it was oversold. 3 reasons RSI. And then the 4th reason, MACD, it's going up. Another hammer piercing into the gap, long that, right? So just understanding price and understanding the mechanics of the market to get into this silver trade. Also, if we put the trend line on the top and the bottom, we see we did pierce below that, but we went back inside. So this is a just fair play trade, 10% volatility. Now, would I long this now? No, because it's closer to the top. I like things when it's closer to the bottom, not closer to the top in terms of trying to long it. And if it's getting up to 22 already, that's been our resistance for a long time. The only reason maybe I would long this more is if the stock market crashed, then maybe flight to safety in here. We also had a weekly hammer candle, right? So just another reason to understand, especially as an investor, that, oh, this is a support play. Pin bar bounce, if you know what that is. Okay, let's go to oil. Oil still in this upward broadening wedge, trying to make a higher low here on the daily. And it's not oversold. So this is not an oversold play. Our side doesn't help me too much on the daily here. I am looking at some of these EMAs here, and it's looking healthy. High, low, higher high, higher low. So are we going to get an even higher high? But that would take us to 85. If that's not going to happen, draw resistance up here. So it's tightening up in this symmetrical triangle. This almost looks like a double bottom on the H4 chart. So if that's true, should go 2.5% to the upside. Should take us to about 80.43. This is a different chart now. 80.43. Somewhere there. And if we drop down, probably support at 76.57. So this one is more triggered by the news and the day trading. Traders and algorithms. Weekly, however, we did have this double top. So this is not really that inspiring here. Double top, so we have a resistance here at 81.23. See if that pulls back down to 73. But again, there's war. There's two wars raging on right now. Very sad, unfortunately, and that's causing volatility with the supply demand here in the market. Very sad. Now UNG on the daily right here, it's going in terms of consolidation. There's not quite an ascending triangle pattern that's going on. We did have a nice bounce though. Like, it's always good to have a pivot bounce to give confidence to the bulls that there's actually liquidity here and we're not going to dump. So it was good that we didn't dump down out of here. Very good. Now, in terms of will it keep going to the top? Is it going to keep going to the top? Well, the hourly is golden cross. So if this support holds this week above 714 or 710, we should actually try to rally back up. It would be nice to get some action on UNG. We had the super oversold play with the huge MACD, very large. But are we going to get this pullback and continuation up to the top? Topside target, $8. Downside target, 673. Now, before I move on, I do want to tell people about, let's take a quick look at copper, and I want to tell people about inverse ETFs. So copper, I know a couple of traders are trading copper, looking at this ETF, CPERE. We have the double bottom here above 2201. Nice to see copper get some bullish action because we have a MACD histogram. See if we get that follow through this week. We also have a weekly weekly bullish momentum here. You see this MACD is building. I like it. I like it. Need to establish some kind of higher low like the past. So if it's going to keep, it could bump up, pull back, and then bump up again. So this is looking interesting. I like it. I like it. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Interesting. Right, pivot. See if this goes all the way up to $23. See if it goes up to 23. All right. Now, I just want to tell people about inverse ETFs because some people may not know about it. Now, if you're a beginner, this is more like intermediate to advanced for stocks. But remember, if you're a stock investor like I am, you could go long. I'll draw it down here. You could go long, which means, we make profits when the price goes up, or somebody could go short. But usually short requires a margin account with specific money requirements and account status. And there's multiple levels of leveraged accounts. So most people are just going long, meaning they want the price to they buy here and they want it to go up and try to make money and take profit. Now, there are other traders and investors that go short as well. But that's leverage and it's very dangerous because you can have infinite losses or you go bankrupt. So it's very dangerous. One safer way to do things, especially for the indexes, they're called inverse ETFs, which means it's the exact opposite ETF of the stock market or the major indexes. So if I am looking at SPY, S&P 500, right? SPY is the main S&P 500 ETF, right? There's the opposite. It's called SH, right? Just from this company called ProShares, right? It's the literal opposite chart. Let me flip back and forth. We'll go SPY, the regular one. You see this going down in the price. Now SH, the inverse ETF, is going up. So if I bought SH, I would have made 5 to 10% profit. And same thing. PSQ is the inverse ETF of QQQ, the NASDAQ, right? QQQ is coming down. PSQ is the exact opposite. Dow Jones, DOG is the inverse ETF of DIA, right? It's the exact opposite. RWM is the exact opposite of IWM, right? So then I can play both sides, not, every single day, but it makes it easier because the ones I'm showing are not leveraged ETFs. These are 1 times inverse ETFs. There are 2 times and 3 times. So this is how people can short the market without having a margin account. You just have a regular account, long only. But I hope you understand what I'm saying is you have to make sure you pick the right one in the right direction. Because here on the all of these inverse ETFs, there's upside down head and shoulders, meaning this is about to go up in terms of, which means the real market's going to come down. Upside down head and shoulders, time the short, right? Or buy this, long this thing. Upside down head and shoulders, that was going up with the perfect neckline back test. RGMM as well. This is like textbook upside down head and shoulders with a breakout of approximately, again, 8%. 8%, we went way above that. So then, that's what I'm saying. We might get a pullback here. We're losing momentum as well. Some other ones that I'll just briefly go over. There is the US dollar inverse ETF. Now, the thing is, the liquidity volume is very low on the non-index inverse ETFs. SH, you have 30 million volume, very powerful. 48 million volume, 1 million volume on DOG, that's low. 2.7 million. So it looks like only S&P 500 and the PSQ has big volume. UDN, the inverse of dollar, is only 20,000, is extremely low liquidity, right? This is a triple ultra short of energy, so I'm not going to show that one. This one has 12 million, it's a different company of S&P 500. Finally, a different one, the short financials, right? So like XLF type of idea, right? XLF is coming down. This is the regular one. If you want to short this one, inverse ETF, SEF, it's 1 times, but not that much liquidity. So for me, if I ever play these, I scale down. I don't use the same position size. So if it's 3 times smaller, if it's a triple ETF, I'll use 1/3 position size or lower. Right? Short real estate, sometimes, it works. It's only 100K volume, very low, but just, there's 20% volatility over the past 4 months. So instead of doing nothing, right? If we know the real estate, if I know real estate sales are down probably and XLRE is crashing, if I know this, right? XLRE is crashing, then okay, instead of doing nothing, maybe I'm going to, along this, right? I'm not saying do that now. This is not financial advice. We also have consumer staples, inverse ETF, mid caps, small caps. I like the Tesla inverse ETF because it has a lot of volume, 3 million in terms of the other ones. And sometimes Tesla shorts are not always available on certain exchanges. So I like this Tesla inverse ETF. That's available to almost everybody. And there was a double bottom here, and we're at the neckline right now. So it's going to be interesting to see on the real Tesla chart, right? This double bottom, if this is going to dump down or not, right? If this is going to dump down, it should go the full move. I don't think this is going to happen though, 34%, not right away. Or it can reject down and come back to the middle half line, right? So then I would want to long the regular Tesla to get that bounce. Does that make sense? There's Apple, Microsoft, all this stuff in here. There's even emerging markets, retail store, China. I like this one though, because somebody, I think last month, asked me about treasury bonds. There's one trader who asked me about bonds. Basically, that person was saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for the bonds to go up," and then I realized later, like, wait a second, what? I would have just longed the inverse ETF. This is treasury, right? So if the real treasury bond is crashing like this, 20-year TLT is down negative 20%, right? TBF there's an opportunity there. Short, you inverse ETF this thing, there's 25% in the past 4 months, right? This is obviously going, the treasury bonds are going down like that, and then this ETF is going up. So there's some kind of play always. It's just a matter of understanding the market direction, the assets, global marketplace, and then selecting the right asset and direction, position size, risk management, right? Instead of, because when I was a beginner, it felt very constricting. It's like, what do I do, right? What do I buy? What do I sell? But first, I would recommend people just educating themselves on what's actually available to buy or sell on your exchange. There's a lot, thousands and thousands, right? So these are just some of the ones I want to show for example, so people don't feel helpless. Also, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, we'll get to Bitcoin. It has a beautiful rally. We're looking at Bitcoin right now, right? But there's a BITI. There's a short Bitcoin ETF, right? So if Bitcoin starts crashing, I am definitely gonna do this because as an American, it's more difficult to short here in America, unless you're doing futures or something like that. So this is like the easiest way to short Bitcoin if Bitcoin ever crashes. New advice or new information is this Thursday, November 2nd, there's going to be a inverse Ethereum ETF that's going to launch, SETH. I just saw that on the calendar. So I'm like, oh, finally, they have that Bitcoin and Ethereum inverse ETFs. Okay, so I'm just getting that out there. It's one times, non-leveraged on most exchanges. And, you know, if somebody does the technical analysis right, it's there, just very low volume, right? Very, very low volume. Somebody asked me, how do I feel about the SPY? I did that chart. That's the first chart I did today. So I would recommend to rewind to that. All right. We're about halfway now, so we got to go to crypto. Let's go to crypto. Thank you for the follow. TOTAL, welcome everybody to the crypto part of this live stream. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have an X group as well on Twitter. Now, Bitcoin. Total, it's been beautiful. We've been long, right? There were some scary moments in here when we started consolidating with the SEC lawsuit around this blue circle, but we held this support level, broke out of the upside down head and shoulders, and we're up. Now, the problem is it's kind of too much too fast, right? When's the last time we got to this RSI up here at 82? Beginning of this year. And then what happened? We had a pullback. We had a crack, like a mini correction. So that could happen here again. And if we have this ascending triangle, it actually, where's the ascending triangle? It should be right exactly at this blue line. So this top yellow line. It should actually retest that. It needs to hold that. So three scenarios. Bullish scenario is we just moon out of here. We just kind of keep rallying nonstop like 2020 style. That would be beautiful to see. One more time. We never come back down for a while. Because it's here. We're supposed to go 60% up on Bitcoin, take us up to 2 trillion market cap. So that's still my long-term target, unless something bad happens. We could consolidate for a little bit just because of SEC lawsuits or what's going on crypto exchanges. Bearish is we fall back down inside here. It's just bearish, another bearish consolidation like we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 down into here, right? 1.1 trillion. So that could be another potential target, 50% retrace, about 1.15 market cap. But in the overall long-term perspective, this is good. We broke out of this weekly head and shoulders, which could have been catastrophic for the market, but we finally broke back into that. And we're testing that yearly resistance. So we're at basically almost at all-time highs this year for total. Let's move on to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I bet you a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. Are we going to go up this week? We're going to go down this week. It's not a perfect solution, the charts, because it's very correlated a little bit with the SEC news, right? Some of these exact breakout points are all SEC news related. And the crashes, there's a chart on CNBC that we had Luna somewhere around here. We had FTX down here. We had one of the Bitcoin ETFs here. And then we had the Grayscale ETF news here, right? So that's why I'm very tuned into the news. We've had that support level. Now, if I draw this channel here on the top side, Bitcoin should reach about 44,000. 44,000, right? So somewhere here, if this is high, low, high, maybe we'll higher low down to 36 again over here. We want healthy uptrend. The weekly, which I'm looking at right now, this is the overbought zone. We do need this to up cross on the daily. So again, we had that death cross scare for a little bit, just for like a week, and then we finally up crossed out of here. The only good thing with Bitcoin is we broke out of the 31,000. Finally, it happened so quickly. It was beautiful. Now, we want to see 20%, 20, 25%. Some swing traders going to take their profit. See if we pull back down to 32,000 before we try to blast off higher. So I'm giving multiple scenarios. Again, we can go straight up to the target, we can consolidate, pull back, or we could go bearish, retest the 30,000 level. So remember, we have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. FOMC Wednesday, Apple earnings on Thursday, and we're starting a new month as well. Let's go to Ethereum. If you have questions for a chart request, just let me know. Ethereum, we have this double bottom bounce here. Is beautiful. Well, I long this, so I'm still long here. So basically, I'm short stocks and long crypto. That might change this week a little bit in terms of the volatility of the moves, especially in the stock market. But let's see. Combine that. Nice. Also here. Nice again. Right. This could be a ascending triangle, or if somebody wants to be a purist, we have to put this up here. All right, so here's the target up here, 2173 bullish target for Ethereum. We held the support beautifully 3 times, and we're stuck at this resistance at about 1818. I don't want it to come back down to about 17 or 1600. I don't want it to come back down here because I want this to be a very strong level of support and go up, up and up. Weekly confirms this as well. We have a weekly MACD histogram. Sometimes this takes quite a bit of time to explode to the upside. Could take another 2 months, but that sets us up perfectly for a Christmas rally. Okay, so I like the direction that it's going right now, is that there's only 2 more months left in this entire year, right? This year, you know, the ultimate strategy was long January and hold it forever until now, right? I mean, Ethereum, you're kind of down a little bit, but Bitcoin, going back, Bitcoin, if you just longed it in January, you're up 100% right now in Bitcoin, right? It's beautiful as an investor. So let's just see how the remainder of the year goes. It depends on the SEC and also the earnings for next 2 weeks. But coupled with that news in the beginning is Binance.com, they still have the lawsuit. You know, it's not just about ETF. It's more about what's going to restore full confidence, full faith back into consumers who are down on their money because of inflation, because of the pandemic, right? If somebody lost their job, unfortunately, I mean, they're not dreaming about crypto right now. It's like, you know, they got to get a job or make money. Or if somebody's struggling to pay their grocery bills or get food on the table because, or pay for fuel for their car because the gas is so expensive, you know, crypto takes a backseat. It's on the back burner. It's not really that important. Many people might be thinking, oh, I'll come back into crypto when it goes crazy high, when there's a lot of volatility, when we're going back up to 100% more gains, right? Dogecoin dollar, right? That type of mentality. So some people are just not interested in crypto yet, but if we're looking at the chart, this is healthy, high, low, higher, high, just a matter of time if there's no bad news. So still my target up here, again, if you measure this whole triangle, should go 82% up long term if this is a perfect setup, if it goes perfect. We should go to 4,000 Ethereum at some point, right? But the first target is just 2,000, psychological. We need to get there first. We need to not go below 1,500. Let's go to Binance. Binance bounced off of its support level here about 202 very nicely. Now, resistance 258, support 200. That's all I can say here for Binance because there might be some day trading opportunities, but I'm more concerned about the lawsuit and how they changed most of their executive employees. Solana, yes. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, right? It's the beginning of the move. Again, if somebody's trying to FOMO right now, they say, I need to buy. Just control yourself. Because this is a very old setup, okay? Once you see the full pattern with your eyes, it's almost like too late, right? in terms of day trading. 165% or maybe 80%. That's why we have these two targets up here, 80 and 165%, right? It just barely broke out of there. It's getting to the overbought range on the top of the RSI. So then we have to pull back. We have to come down to test it, right? Test it, retest it. The support of where? 2765. Weekly, we had this nice weekly breakout. And there's plenty of room to go here on the weekly. It's just going to take some time. H1, H4 as well. We're not even super overbought yet. So we need to pull back first to cool down the market before we blast up higher. So I'm still long Solana. I'm waiting for this really to play out. It could take like 6 months, but as an investor, 6 months to make 100% profit, that's actually really good investing, right? If the S&P 500 moves what, 10% average per year over like 50 years, making 100% in 6 months, you just made 10 years of average profit in 1 year or in one trade investment, right? So I have to just adjust my mentality like that. Let's move on to next one. I'll go faster here. We're gonna end soon. I'm not gonna go 2 hours like last time, or 1.5 hours. So Cardano, we have this nice double bottom here. It's very nice, had a nice bounce. I am long Cardano as well because I like the support play down here, oversold play. We're hitting this first 200 EMA. It could pull back again, right? It could pull back again, back down to a neckline, even back down to 27 or 28, right? It only went up 10% on a 25-cent coin. So my ultimate target is somewhere up here. I want to get up to the 43, 50 cent range before maybe I'll consider moving my stop loss up. But at the same time, the trend has not changed yet. It's still downtrend. So this is the first higher high. It's supposed to make a higher low and then, wiggle its way up here. Basically, it's just going to be kind of silly looking, but that's the trend, right? If it's downtrending hard, we almost had that opportunity in the beginning of this year. Downtrended again, hit the double bottom support. Now traders are trying to see, is this the real big rally spot? Weekly as well, we had a nice double bottom price with a MACD bullish histogram. Still death cross on the weekly, but I like it still. So trying to FOMO in here, because if you go to a 5-minute this day or 15-minute, H1, H4, at one point H4 was too oversold, right? So I'm trying to correlate this with Bitcoin. You want to time it better. So if I had a choice, like I said last, 3 or 4 streams, it's if I had a choice, am I going to buy? Where am I going to buy? Am I going to buy at point A? Let's say A is this big mountain. A, B, C, D, or E, where we are right now, in terms of trying to long it, right? If I want this thing to go up, A is too high. It's too high, so that's FOMO. Relative FOMO, and I don't want to buy there. B is maybe. B was maybe because there is a potential support, but once we lost that support, B is canceled. A is canceled, B is canceled. Now, I'm trying to wait. Maybe this was a intermediate C point, right? That still didn't work out. So then you have to wait again. Then finally we had the double bottom. So we had double bottom, a fake rally, come back again. So once I saw, wait a second, all right, this is the third or fourth time this is getting to the support level, of course I'm going to buy that. And right, there's fear in the market. Everyone's saying, oh, SEC lawsuit, SEC lawsuit. Yes, but we had those 2 news that it's getting a little bit better. The SEC starting to back off a little bit, so I longed it there. Probably not right at the bottom. It's 25 cents. Long at 25 cents, up like 18, 20% right now, 18%, and just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. If it comes back down, I don't care, right? I don't care. That's why you kind of have to almost not care as an investor. If it comes down, all right, who cares, right? Long term, it's going to do that. It's going to wiggle around. It's going to move around. People are going to get scared. People are going to sell on the news. That's why you kind of have to have more of a hodler's mentality as an investor, right? And I do like that it broke out of here. So it could retest the very bottom, 25 cents again. So that's why I'm not afraid of that. What am I going to get concerned about is if it eats up deep into my stop loss or below break even and we dump down here, I'll probably sell it at some point here and just get out of it and say, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. For example, the way to practice that is paper trading or bar replay. XRP as well. XRP, we had a nice support play kind of in this ascending triangle. I'm also long XRP right now, just trying to see. I didn't buy it at the top here. I bought it near the bottom support here. Still in the gains, but I don't think this is the end of this rally. It should go about 60%. That's why my target is up here, or 120%. So we've had this, especially a long XRP, because of the two CEOs. The SEC dropped the lawsuit against them, which was going on for like years, right? So that's why it's right at the tip here. If this thing keeps breaking out and it keeps rallying, that's the beautiful 50, 60% trade, right? There's plenty of room here on the RSI. It's not the perfect spot to long right now because it's too high, relative speaking, in time frames. That's why I got in low here, below 50 cents, right? And it's only 10%, but I'm waiting for it to keep going up. I'm thinking of this as an investor. I'm not looking at this as a trade. I don't care about 5 minute right now. I don't care about H4 even. I'm an investor. I care about the long-term move. How long does it take? Month, possibly 2 months, 1 to 2 months, right? So just wait for that to grow. Now, if somebody's thinking, well, can I buy it now? Can I buy it now? That's your decision to make. You have to understand the risk. If it falls back down, it could be immediate -5 to -10% loss on any capital that somebody puts in that trade. So managing that risk. I'll do a little bar replay as well. Okay, even faster. AVAX double bottom, and it's now trying to seek out a higher high in the price. DOT double bottom, also seeking out a higher high in the price on the daily. Dogecoin with the meme double bottomed here with a bullish momentum and a strong bounce up to the resistance trend line to the upside. And if it's going to break out there, retest that above 6,600 and try and get a rebound. SHIB as well. I'm long Shiba Inu at this bottom, double bottom here. And we're going to see how far we can get up. There could be, is it going to go to 1,000, get that 25% range or not? A lot of this can pull back. So I'm just telling what I did last week and where I'm expecting it to do this week. I'm expecting it to go down, actually. Because if the hype is over and this thing pulls back down on me, that's a higher low. And we see it here. It happens all the time. It doesn't go straight up in a line up. And it's weird if it does. It's fine to me if it does. It's just faster. I don't have to wait as long as an investor. But it can either go straight up or it bounces up and down. So you see this up, it's like this, up, it's going to come down probably. And then it's going to fight down here. And then if it's true bull move, it should get that second or third leg up. And that's what I'm waiting for. Matic double bottom, breakout play, trying to test this higher high, might establish a relative high soon. Atom from, yeah, it is Atom. Cosmos Atom, double bottom here, 630, double bottom, we all long that. Right? 16%, good. Near had this perfect support play in correlation with Bitcoin, but it's at the resistance point now. What we don't want to see is this pull back down, halfway retrace, and then try to break out again. I'm very closely watching that. LTC, Litecoin as well. Potential upside down head and shoulders right at that neckline back test. It could go 15% more if the news on data is good. Now keep in mind, this Bitcoin, crypto, they are financial tech assets. So we just had finance and tech earnings in the stock market. We have Big Apple earnings Thursday, FOMC on Wednesday. If the entire stock market crashes, it's possible, one scenario, that crypto can crash as well because it's just going to get dragged down. If the war gets worse, then volatility might get worse. If everyone starts piling into crypto, then maybe we'll go up, right? So there's multiple scenarios I'm already prepared for in the back of my mind. Uni didn't really have a nice rally, but it's at the support level. Some coins are just not that popular. if Shiba Inu or Doge goes 20%, but Uni doesn't go anywhere, it went 2%, right? Just not that popular. Nothing going on for this coin right now, except we're at the support level. Now, Link, on the other hand, beautiful. Link, high, low, high, higher, low, and then the nice pump play. Really beautiful. 50%. It was incredible. We totally broke out of here, right? So it's definitely possible. That's why any day now, one of these cryptos might break out to the upside. Will I long here? Most definitely no. No, I will not long here. Because I was thinking about longing Link way down here when I marked it in the blue. Does that make sense? That's my style. I like getting low price because you get, it's less risk, more reward. We'll bring up the risk reward tool for this example. This is what most people are not thinking about when they're looking at charts. Most people I talk to, no one's talking in terms of risk reward. This is how you know you're getting more into advanced, intermediate, advanced style of trading and investing. Is instead of thinking about this watches, just turn it off. Instead of thinking about all the indicators, just turn them all off. I don't need them right now. I don't even need my drawings right now of this other stuff. All I need is this box. So then I started thinking about risk reward. Let's pretend bar replay. Let me back up here. When let's say we're even right here, right? And I think, okay, it looks like it's going to come down. Yeah, because it's at a resistance point. So one reason why this thing exploded to the upside is probably a lot of shorts actually shorted Link on futures. And then they got short squeezed out of there, right? Because of the Bitcoin rally. Because it looks like it wants to come down. It looks like it wants to do this and then crash back down, back to the middle half line. It didn't do that. So then, you know, as soon as it keeps going, all right? People initiated the shorts. It went down. Everyone's expecting normal activity like this in the blue circle. Copy paste that. People trying to make easy money in the market on futures. However, it goes down. And then we rebound. Now, exactly right here, it's a very sensitive situation. Okay? Because I am starting to see, if you know your daily charts and how to interpret it, I'm seeing, wait a second, we're getting bullish momentum here with the upside down head and shoulders, neckline breakout. Now, what are the odds that this is going to crash on me? It's actually not that great right now. It's showing that there's a support level. Something's going on in the market right now. And it didn't dump down to lower lows. It actually made a higher low. So then a shorts, if somebody was shorting this, would probably stop themselves out or take their profit if they're very sensitive to the price. And then when you have that short squeeze, that's not normal for that to happen, right? All the shorts got destroyed in that one move in one day. Then, right? Just for example, somebody could long. Hopefully they catch that within the day, right? Happening in one day. So there's that measured move, and then it kept going until a little higher, right? So there's that second day. There was that second continuation day. So that's more advanced play. Usually it doesn't happen like that, but it's definitely possible. It is crypto. Wherever the money is, people are going to jump on that. Where the action is, they're going to jump on that. Because some day traders, they open up the watch list. Oh, Link is up 20%. That's all I'm going to play today. Then they go to 5 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, and then they play that, make their gains or lose money, whatever happened to them, and then they're done for the day. But was this forecastable? It was. It was. Once it broke above 810, there's something wrong with this. Short play, it's not short anymore. Go long, 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 bye, bye, bye. Educational example. Tron as well has been just in a non-stop rampage uptrend. But I am seeing some kind of bearish divergence here, so you just want to watch out for that. Because if it's not going to pierce up and keep going past 10 cents, it can actually reverse back down because it's losing momentum on this MACD histogram. Bitcoin Cash found a level of support, again correlated with double bottom, RSI, double bottom, MACD histogram, and uptrending, but it's towards the top here, so it could pull back down. I long Bitcoin Cash way back here when I was talking back here in this area because there's giant upside down head and shoulders. Of course, that thing's going to explode to the upside. Had beautiful gains on that. Right, Ethereum Classic support level 1472. It's at the top here. So again, even in this relative area, if somebody's looking for a trade, right? Where am I going to buy? Am I going to buy at A? Am I going to buy at B, C, or D area as a long, which is giving me the best risk to reward? Without the indicators, I don't care about that right now. Right? If I look at this A, B, C, or D, where do I want to go? Right here, A, B, C, or D. I like longing at points B and C. It's scary because it's red. It's scary because all your friends, nobody's doing that, right? People are not excited about things crashing on social media. Even in the chat here on the Trading View, nobody likes that. But is that a great area to long? That's some of the best spots, especially when it gets to the third or fourth range here. I mean, this is upside down head and shoulders. You're screaming to go long. I mean, there's a double bottom. You're screaming, go long if you want the profits, right? If you want something from the market, here's your chance. I bought Ethereum Classic, right, at point C. Personally, I'm still holding that long. Now, the problem is it's at a resistance. And it's probably going to get rejected down, but I'm just going to let it do that at point D up here. And if it gets rejected, we could have another link situation, right? We just looked at that chart, right? The fake out, pull back down, and blast up of 20%. Totally possible, which is why I'm leaving it. If it comes back down middle half line, or even back down to where I started, that's fine as an investor. That's what happens with crypto, because I believe we're near some kind of bottom zone, right? Especially when this support level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times is the support. I have stronger faith in that down here. It's some kind of relative bottom, right? If this upside down head and shoulders as well, should go 12%, blast off to 1880 or higher, right? So that's why my style is, as a swing trader, I get in as early as possible. I don't care what other people say on the news. I don't care what other traders say in social media. I know my setup. I know my strategy. I enter it, execute, walk away. Manage risk, walk away from the computer, right? And then go have fun. Right? I'm not always super serious person. It's not all about extreme, you can't control the market. It's not about extreme emotions or like, I'm going to be the most serious trader. I'm all business. I'm going to be a robot. I've tried that before. It's just understanding what the price is, what the indicators are, what the market's doing. What are the market makers doing? What is the big money doing? What are the whales doing? What are the miners doing? What is this price doing? What is it doing down here? What is it doing up here? What does it mean? Right? Understanding that is very critical. Algo bounced off its double bottom support. I like this. Why? Because it's so low. So low. And right at the ceiling. Okay. It's just trying to break out like it's like a volcano about to erupt. Right? If this is true, double bottom play, this should blast off to 17 cents at some point. If it's going to happen. If not, unfortunately, we could dump all it back down to 7 cents. So that's the downside target. Here's the upside target. Stellar, I'm actually also long Stellar. So Stellar, we had the double bottom at 10 cents and catching this nice bounce. Now, could it crash? It could crash. I'm ready for that if that's going to happen. Mentally, I just close my positions, take my profit, get out of there. But if this is going to be a reversal spot at this double bottom, it's a perfect spot. High, higher, low, and then let it keep going up to 15 cents. I want to sell it when it's high in the sky. Okay, I think that's enough crypto analysis and education. Now you might be feeling no FOMO charts. You're not telling us anything new. Well, I analyze the charts as an investor from a long-term perspective. And I've been talking about this support area, the potential support area for months now on these altcoins, just waiting for the good news. And we finally got some this October. The government against the SEC, Ripple wins, boom. Boom. So I do want to leave, if you feel like you didn't learn anything, well, let me do some bar replay. Okay, so you can get ready for your next setup that you're gonna try to do. Now, what I'm saying is what you want to, if you're a beginner, okay, if you're a beginner, brand new, you just started yesterday or this month, is study the price as much as possible. Understand candles. What is a green candle? What is a red candle? Then you start understanding, right? Very, very quick is for a green candle, the bottom is the open, the top is the close. For a red candle, the top is the open, the bottom is the close, right? And you can confirm that with a line chart, right? Bottom is the close, bottom is the open, top is the close on the green. Meaning green is going up. That's how I think about it. Green is going up. It starts at the bottom, the candle, and goes up. Red candle starts at the top and then goes down. Okay, so you understand that. Then what are the candle patterns? If you're in TradingView, you just go into your indicators, technicals, patterns right here. Or learn on TradingView, learn on Google. I studied that a lot. That's why I got better at it. And once you understand that, then the market is not random. This is not just random chicken scratch arc drawings on a chalkboard. This is actually the day-to-day story of the market, right? So what is this question here? I can't see. What do I think of Goog? Okay. Well, I went over stocks in the earlier part of here. Google. No, not Good. Goog. So Goog had their earnings. Google had their earnings. And even though the EPS and the revenue is good, they had some other bad news in there, right? All I'm going to say is, your trade is your decision. Please manage risk. All I can say are relative levels of support and resistance. So we have a gap up here at 130. There is a hammer candle. Remember, we have Apple earnings on Thursday, FOMC on Wednesday. You can rewind to the beginning of the stream, see all the news and all the stock analysis as well. 118.73 is support. 121.72 is support down here. And relative 128. So when I see it something like this, it is H4 oversold. It is H1 oversold. It is in the death cross, but we do have some kind of formation down here. Looks like a type of flag pattern. You'll know if it's going to rewind, if it starts making higher lows like that, right? And then you could try to make your decision based off of that. There are wicks, a lot of candle body wicks down here. It's getting suspicious down here. It's bouncing off a 200 EMA with a hammer candle. So there's clues. There's clues that there might be a bounce. We'll probably want that confirmed tomorrow morning for the next 1 or 2 days. So that's your decision right here. But you'll know when it's a Morningstar pattern, when you have a big green day like this. That's a evening star pattern, and then it should rebound. But there's a lot of volatility right now. It's your choice. So at the end, I just like to recommend to people paper trading. You just open up the trading panel, paper trading, connect it. Now you have $100,000 fake money to practice with on any stocks or USD Bitcoin or your country's fiat money. But I recommend just practicing USD Bitcoin during market hours. If you can't do it during open market hours, this is the best way to practice though, because you're actually practicing not just charting, but you're practicing your actual order input. Order management, are you going to buy or sell? For beginners, just start with the buy. Input the price you want to buy. We're doing a Google example. Let's pretend for education. Let's say I'm going to put a 3% stop loss on this, and so what's the ask price for the buy in closed market hours? Let's say it's 123.35 or 123.40, just above it. Let's say you're going to buy, pretend, pull up a calculator. You're going to put $10,000 in this trade, for example, 123.40. You need to buy 81 shares. 81 shares. Now, where's my take profit level? Up here at the top, 129.54. Input that. 129.54. And then my stop loss emergency level, 119.42. And then buy. Right? So now you have the entry, you have the profit target for the first trade. You don't have to sell all of it if you don't want to, but for practice, it's good to practice that. And you have a stop loss down here as well. And you have a almost 2-to-1 risk. This should actually be a little higher. So I can change this, pull this up a little bit, just like exchange. I pulled it up to 130.65 take profit area, or 131. Okay, so that's an example of how you practice paper trading, swing trading, investing. You could do this during market hours in the morning. If you're a hardcore day trader, you want to do this at 6:30, 9:30 a.m. and practice this way. It's kind of hard to do all of this fast at one time. So, but you know, you're day trading, unless you're scalping, you should be able to type it fast enough. Now, for people who like to practice at night or they don't have time to do it in the market hours, TradingView did create the bar replay feature. Now I'll use it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin USD. Let's use Oanda, because I don't use Oanda. Bitcoin USD on a daily chart. And then you click the bar replay button. Let's rewind just to some random spot way back here. Somewhere here. And now the chart is rewound. It went back in time. So we're looking at December 2019, January 1st, 2020, the beginning of the pandemic. You can see here now they added these buy and sell buttons and the quantity button and fast forward speed. So it's a very crude way to practice your entries and exits. This is not a good way to practice orders, because you're not putting in entry, take profit, and stop loss like a normal exchange. This is more for quick ideas, quick practicing for scalping or day trading, or just to check if you're right or wrong with your analysis. So for example, buy means you buy one, sell means you sell. Flatten means you just close your position. It's automatic sell at the candle close of what you're doing. So let's let this thing go. So Bitcoin, first thing I would do here, let's say I'm pulling up this chart. I say, where's my resistance? Trend line. Support, trend line. Resistance horizontal, support, and resistance. So now I box this in. So I do see a double bottom, and I'm going to do this with no indicators. It's harder that way. Okay, I'm looking at volume. It's pretty low, double bottom potentially. So if it could pierce down to 6381 or lower, or we might have a nice bounce up to 8200. Let's just see what happens. Let's play and practice here. It's bouncing. I see upside down head and shoulders. I'm longing that. Yeah, we're going to break out. We did break out. It's continuing higher. Looks like we're topping out up here. I'll just sell. Right? So in that time, with one Bitcoin, approximately made about 20%. But the Bitcoin amount is really small. It's like $6,000, right? So, but I saw this upside down head and shoulders very quickly, understand patterns. Measured move is what, 13%. We went almost 2 times the target, 1.5 the target. I'm out of there. So now I'm looking for maybe if this is going to keep going, right? Or are we going to crash dump into here? Because sometimes it's going to go up a lot like this in Bitcoin, and sometimes this is going to crash, right? Sometimes this is going to go up, crash, one more time, crash, go up one more time. So that's why we just broke out of here. It's retested here. All right, where's my next level of resistance? Up here, 10,000, 11,000. Are we going to get up there? Maybe. If we don't, I'm going to short this thing down. Make 2 plans and execute. It's going higher. Rejection. I'm short on the rejection. Up. Entry's bad. My entry's bad. But, right, because of my experience, I know sometimes when it gets this high, right, now I'm going to start. This is actually not a perfect example, but I see this now. It's like kind of building up like dominoes, right? Dominoes. Will it dump again? It might not dump. So maybe that short was actually a bad spot. It's okay. It's just paper trading, right? So if it bounces up, I'm going to close my short. If it crashes down, I'm going to short again. So I'm still short right now. I'm down. Is it going to crash? It's hesitating. Hesitating. I feel the weakness. I'm long again. I mean, adding another short. So I'm double short right now. Is it going to crash again? Ooh. Whoa, what's going on here, right? That's just an example from experience. When I have this set up in a rising wedge, I talk about this almost every single stream, is once I lose the support and we had that one candle of weakness, the shooting star, it's kind of hard to see it. Shooting star of weakness right here. It's going down. If this was going to bounce up, I would have closed a short and lost money. Just walk away. Just walk away. You lost some money. I lost some money. Walk away. Don't get greedy. Don't get mad. But if it pulls down, bounces up, rejection, I'm going to, as a short that down, reject it down. I'm going to force it down. Now, when you have a super dump like this, when I'm up in the money as a short, and keep in mind, okay, most beginner day traders lose 90% of all their money in 90 days. Okay, I practice a lot. That's why I could do it like this on stream for most assets, right? It all comes down to practice. So instead of losing negative $3,000 of your own money, your hard-earned money, is just practice and understand what went wrong. If I made a mistake here, I would rewind it and understand, what did I miss? What did I miss? I do that a lot, right? So now that I'm in a great profit zone, if my stop loss was like 5% or 10%, let's say it was 5%, or let's say it's 10%. I'm at the 2-to-1 zone right now, and I see a hammer candle right here. Let me see. It looks like, okay, low, lower high, lower low. It could go lower. If it bounces up, I'm going to close. I'm going to close. I'm ready to flatten this thing at any moment. Okay, so it is super dump. Super dump. Something is very wrong here. I mean, if you're shorting this, you're extremely profit. You're in a lot of profit, but I don't like this. It's too volatile. We have a huge hammer candle here. I don't like it down here in terms of, it's not just emotions. This is a strong reversal signal, and I already missed my perfect exit spot down here. I'm going to get out of here. Just flatten it, take my profit. So I'm out of the trade. Out of the trade. See that? It started bouncing, right? It's not just my feelings. I understand. This reversal, hesitation, sideways. On a shorter term time frame, symmetrical triangle, tightening up pattern, bull break, you get out of there. If you're short, you have to get out of there, right? So in this example, we actually ended up trading the pandemic crash. I just realized this is the pandemic crash, right? But that's how somebody could really analyze this and understand what's going on. If this is real life, I would have drawn more, saying, "Oh, there's a resistance here, and there's a support like that right here at 7,500, resistance at 8,000. If I lose this, I'm going to short it down," and that's what everyone did in the world at that time. So it's just a good way to practice. A good way to practice on any asset and learn it this way. Or if you don't even want to get into the trading, sometimes what I do is I just watch it, because I used to play sports when I was young. I just watch it like a sports tape. I just say, in terms of practice tape, it's like football, or it's like soccer, or baseball, or like whatever sport or activity that you do, right? Just rewind it and learn from it. You don't even have to trade. Just watch it. Understand, what does this even look like? What's going on here? Price going down. You can speed it up. I'll speed it up for this last part here. Let's go triple speed. Okay. Well, what I'm seeing here is this thing's going down. In my mind's eye, I'm drawing imaginary like this. I'm drawing already imaginary, because I've done it so many times. Imaginary. Okay. Let's make it lower low, lower high, lower low. It's supposed to make a lower high here, and then it made a higher low. So this is a reversal pattern right here. Understanding that. When you're going downstairs and you have a higher low, reversal pattern, buy that, buy. It's going high. Okay, evening star, that's a reversal triple candle pattern that we're going down. So we should pull back down. Oh, fake out. Sometimes doesn't work. So now that I have fake out here, and then not one more time, then I theoretically, it should have a bearish divergence up here. Sometimes it happens. Right? I would have got stopped out on that trade. And if it pulls back down, let's see if it pulls back down to 21 or 20. Let me just go in and short it just to prove my idea, right? Let me see what that happens. I shorted it right at 22,745. Hesitating. Hesitating. I'm going to short it again. We lost the support. Actually regained support. We're going to lose that support again. So here, this would have been very tricky right here as a short, right? Because you wanted to short it here, it doesn't short. You want to short it here. Yeah, I had that 1-2 days to close here. So in real life, I would have closed down here. Because this is not good. When you have a super green one that's going to short squeeze you out of there, that's not good, right? So this is not a really good example, but let's pretend. Let's keep going here, right? Shooting star, wow, really down in the money. I like this hesitation. Okay, I like that this is going, so this is not a perfect example, but I like the short here. The short here was good. I would have closed it down here. I like that this is hesitating here and you have a bearish divergence. So this is, see if it's going to come down or not. I'm just having fun at this point. Short like a madman. Keep shorting, right? So now this, it took a very long time. It's not a good example at all. But in terms of, that's somebody understanding, wow, this is a lot of resistance up here, right? Resistance, resistance, and then just doubling down on that. In terms of, would I have shorted like this many times in real life? Absolutely not. But for practice, just understanding, what if I shorted like this? That's why you get to, in your practice, execute your ideas, right? Because if I was wrong, I would need to learn from that, right? Let's keep going here. Oh, came back into my zone. Came back into my zone of resistance. I still don't think we're going higher than that. It's fading, making a lower high. We're dumping. At this point, because I was down so much, it might just need to be a break-even trade. So I might bring my stop loss up very closely to 27,000 just to get out of this catastrophe, right? If it dumps, maybe one more last short. Is it going to dump or not? Right? So in practice, that was the spot to get out of there in that situation right here. Right here. Because nobody wants to be down negative $60,000 USD, right? It's kind of a funny example. But it's just fun to practice, right? It's just fun to practice like this. So in the end, right, let's just let it run. It's kind of funny now to see what happens, right? Keep training. It says keep training. So what in this last example, okay, in terms of short management, it's not good. There is no, for example, this is kind of like what not to do, right? So obviously I'm never going to trade like that in real life, but right here in the paper trading is short here, but then how far is it going to go down, right? If I had Fibonacci, right there, 50%, that was the first spot to get out of there. Short down, get out of here. Wait a little bit here. If I was building a position here, right? Head and shoulders, but where's the next level support? This previous blue line, then you have to get out of there, right? If it longs here, if I had a stop loss, take the loss. Then if it's going to be another short, execute the short, but remember, it's going down to support right here. Then close that here, upside down head and shoulders, and long it right here, right? So it's really good to practice. Even for me, just do some crazy trading and see what doesn't work, what works, right? Let's do another example. Let's go to Ethereum, for example. Now, let me show you an example. I like actually showing people not what to do because it's almost a better teaching tool. Let's rewind on Ethereum and bar replay back out of here to, let's say, the top of Ethereum, right? Top of Ethereum, November 2021. So if somebody was along, right, I remember some people asked me on my stream, like, hey, no FOMO charts. What should I do? Dogecoin is like at 75 cents. That was actually the top of Dogecoin. And for me, I sold my Dogecoin long at around the 60, 70 cent range, like near the top. Sold my Bitcoin at 60, 65,000 range. Just got out of there. And that was the right decision in hindsight. In real life, was I 100% sure that's the exact perfect spot? No. But when I saw, let's say, go back here in Bitcoin, right? When we're up here at like 65,000, right here, 60,000, right here, there's 2 times. So how do I know how to get out of Bitcoin right there? Head and shoulders pattern and a double top pattern. So let's practice with Ethereum. This is what happens to a lot of people. So I just showed you an example of over leveraging, not taking small losses, and trying to kind of like claw your way out of a trade that's going against you. And you can have massive losses, right? It's extremely bad for that to happen. So you want to practice here on, you know, on the paper trading for that. But let's say for Ethereum, back up to the exact top spot. Now, somebody out there in the world, unfortunately, might have logged this spot. Now, let me show you the kind of opposite way of how somebody could go bankrupt too. And so over leveraging, that was really bad, right? You saw it. There's almost negative 100K loss, and that's basically bankrupt, right? On this account, paper trading account. Don't want that to happen. So then there's another way that could go wrong too, is that if somebody's extremely bullish and long, right? Extremely bullish and long. And they think, a trader thinks, we're going to $10,000 Ethereum, $100,000 Ethereum. And without managing the risk, this is what could happen, right? Let's say somebody has a 100K account, right? So let's just pretend it's a 100K account, and then Ethereum's what, 4607. They could potentially buy 21 Ethereums total before going full in, right here. So without having the paper trading order panel, this is why people get into trouble when they're just not even looking at any risk management at all and anything. Let's just see what happens. Buy, up, and they might get excited. Oh, it's going up. Oh, wait, it's going down. Oh, you know what? Ethereum's, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine mentality, and it's going to go up. Don't worry about it. I'm going to buy more to see, I need to make my losses back, right? And then I buy more, and then it keeps going down. Watch the P&L, right? And somebody's saying, oh, you know what? It's just a dip. I'm just going to buy more. And it's, you see how this person, imaginary trader, is not managing their risk on the long or short side, right? And you're going down. And then you start to sweat a little bit, right? You're like, I'm down negative 3,000. What am I going to do now? So a professional trader managed risk. Let's say the risk should have been maybe negative $1,000 loss maximum, and then we needed to sell. We needed to close here. Walk away, take the small loss when it's a small loss, walk away from the trade and live to trade another day. Only down 1% or maximum 10%, right? What happens if you just keep trying to claw your way out of here? And you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to dollar cost average. I'm going to buy more. At this point, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ethereums. It's going up. We're going to be fine. Let me dollar cost average. I want to get an average price of Ethereum here. Yeah, we're imaginary down a lot, but it's going back up. I'm going to be fine. Let's buy more Ethereums. I'm fine right now. And then it starts going down again. You start trying to claw your way out of here. Right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm down $10,000, $12,000. That happens a lot, right? So understanding that I showed you on the short side, not managing risk because leverage can get really bad. Long side as well can get really bad too. Okay, we're already down. At this point, if somebody had a 100K account and we're down negative $12,416, you're down negative 12.4% on the account. have to emergency close this, just walk away because something is going wrong. All the trades are wrong in this example, right? I'm just doing it wrong on purpose. How many times do we buy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm about halfway in here, right? Like $50,000 approximately Ethereum. So that's why managing risk is important. So this is how some people might buy in real life, right? You just like buy one at a time. You wake up, maybe buy one, maybe wake up another day, buy one, right? But paper trading trains us better so that we're actually using a risk reward tool and understanding the entry and exit points and the risk per trade, right? That's why sometimes I don't recommend bar replay for people because then there's no risk management here. It's more about just, it's like bingo, you're correct or not. And it keeps going down. Let's say somebody's going to dollar cost average, which I don't recommend for crypto. Let's say that's the 12th one, 13th one. Let's say it's 14th buy. This person's starting to panic. Oh my gosh, I'm down so much. Oh my gosh, what's happening? 25. What's going on, right? When you're down there and you start panic buying like that, and probably we're at 18 trades. I can only buy 3 more Ethereums, but I'm not going to get out of here, right? How am I going to claw my way out of this? I can't as a trader, right? So then basically blew up my account or blew up. I lost 16%. Let's just keep going like a madman. Just now you're not even, now a trader's not even making rational decisions anymore. I have one more to buy, let's pretend, and then I'm done. Now I'm out, right? So at this point, imaginary FOMO trader would have basically lost 13%, and then you have to close. There's no way to get out of here, except it could rise again, right? But at this point, you have to think, all right, now I'm just totally in the red here, okay? For me, I would say if it bounced up at some point, I would just take it, close it as high as I can, and then take the loss, walk away, learn from that. Right? If it crashes, I'm going to be extremely not happy about that because I would have wished I should have sold here, not here. Let's pretend somebody's stubborn and they think, Ethereum's going to $5,000. I'm just going to hold it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I feel good about this trade. Well, let's see what happens here. Okay. Oh, you're like, oh, I was down at, and then, negative 10,000. Is it going up? No, it's not going up. Continuing to bleed money. Now I'm down 20,000. Oh my gosh, now I'm down 20,000. It's not going up. What do I do now? So at some point, you got to pull the plug, right? On the trade. If I was down negative $22,000 compared to negative $13,000, I would have, and I should have sold here, for example, right? So at some point, you just got to pull the plug. You just got to get out of there, right? Let's say it's rallying. Just get out of there. Right? And then just stop. This imaginary trader lost negative $16,000. Now repeat that over and over again. Make that mistake, how many times before you lose all your money, right? So that's why bar replay is good. Paper trading is better. Now I just showed you 2 examples. How can shorting go wrong and how can longing go wrong? Now let me end it on the 2 examples of how to do it more correctly risk manage. Let's use a different crypto, Binance coin, or let's use Cardano because it's USD. And I know I'm going over time, but this is extremely important. Most people, they ignore this because nobody wants to think. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to manage their risk, right? But I just showed you what happens. If we combine those total losses, that trader is down imaginary negative $120,000 or so, right? That account's totally blown up, right? The bankrupt. So let's rewind here on Cardano. Let's go back to, let's say post-pandemic, like just for example, like right here, March 2020, when we're somewhere near the bottom. Because there's a hard decision, I remember back here in 2020. I remember after this crash happened, is one of the worst crashes in crypto history. When we had this super dump on this day, and Cardano went all the way down to 1 cent. My goodness, in one day. 1 cent. Now, I have to think to myself, okay, what is going on here? And is it going to go down there again? Because what's the risk-reward ratio if I buy here? Negative 96% flash crash on Cardano. My goodness. But if we use a close, it's actually more like negative 20%. So this is like an investment. Okay. So the contrarian trader inside of me was saying, all right, there's negative 25%. If Cardano ever survives, it could go up here to maybe 43% if my entry's here at 30 and my stop loss is at 21. That's a 2-to-1. That's a 2-to-1 risk reward play, right? There's 50% potential gain. There is 25% potential loss. And I don't exactly know if it's going to crash down because it actually could crash down on me one more time. But if I'm doing this correctly on the timing, maybe it'll go up, right? But now the question is, the next question is risk management for capital. How much capital am I going to use in terms of money, right? Risk management. So then if I have a $100,000 account, for example, total account size. Now for trading, the rule is the general trading rule, I never want to risk more than 1% of my total account size per trade. So 1% TAS, total account size per trade. Now, to avoid confusion, let me just bring up a calculator. Where's my calculator? Right here. So $100,000 times 1% is, I could only risk $1,000 per trade. Per trade. Maximum loss. Right? Does that make sense? So then the stop loss determines how much capital I'm going to put in here. And there are plenty of calculators on what is it? On the internet. Okay, so to make this math a lot easier for people, let's pretend I only had a 10% stop loss, not 25%. Let's say I have a 10% stop loss, right? And my target was 20%. Okay, so now it's easier math. Anybody can do this. Now, so if I have $1,000 maximum loss per trade, then how much of Cardano should I buy to have a 10% stop loss of the total amount that I buy, position size, so that it equals $1,000 per trade? So it's 10% of what? So it would be $10,000 times 10%. If I lose that, then I'm losing $1,000. So then I know, oh, I need to buy $10,000 of Cardano at the price of 29 cents. And that's $10,000 divided by 29 cents. And then I can buy 34,482 Cardanos at this exact spot, right? Then I open up my paper trading panel and then I execute. So I know, all right, I'm playing with $10,000 position size, not $100,000 position size. $10,000 position size right at the ask. 29.28. 29.28. How many units? I'm going to buy, I actually forgot the number already. $10,000 divided by 29.28 cents. 34,153 Cardanos. Let's put that in here without a comma. And now I'm going to take profit. Where's my first target? 35 cents. So now I'm going to type it in here, 0.35. So you can see how this is much more methodical, right? Step by step. I am not trading on emotions. Can you feel the difference? You can feel the difference. You can see the difference. I'm not trading on my emotions. I'm not looking at my P&L, profit loss. I don't care what the watch list and what social media says. I'm concentrating on executing this trade, right? 35 cents is my take profit. Now, if I am doing this in real life, maybe I have a second take profit of a double the target. So let's say my 50%. Sometimes this doesn't open. 15% could go to 44 cents, right? So let's say I could sell, but for this example, let's just do 1 because it's not letting me do half, right? So stop loss. Where's my stop loss? Right at the 10% level because, or a little bit higher, because sometimes there's slippage and it's going to go sell lower. It's not going to sell right on the dot. So it's 2627, 0.2627. So then now I prepared this trade. Buy it. Let it go. Right? This might not have bought for me in the past, but let's pretend we're in this trade. Right? Sometimes it doesn't work. Well, let's buy it. And let's say we're long now. We're long now. We didn't quite get stopped out yet on the close. And if we get stopped out, oh, who cares? Who cares? We did the trade. I'm going to go step one by one. It could dump, but actually it's not. Hey, it's going up. Great. So this trade is a success. And we would sell right here at 0.35. It's actually not 26 cents. It's 3 cents. Sorry. I might have said that wrong many times, but I typed it in correctly, I think. So 0.035, right? So then here, I have two choices when it gets up to here. I can either just sell, don't get greedy. I sell, take my profit, and I just made a control 25% on that trade. So I made $2,500. And I could either full sell or move my stop loss up if I think it's going to keep going higher and tighten the stop loss so that it's like a 1% stop loss or 3% right below the current price, so that it's going to stop me out right at my take profit point. Does that make sense? So that if it comes down, I still made money. If it goes up, I can change my stop loss each day until it kicks me out and I still made money. Does that make sense? I am not trading on emotions, not trading on feelings. So let's pretend I have my stop loss here and I'm going to only target maybe 6 or 10 more percent. See if it keeps going or not. See, right there, right there. As soon as it dumped, what is this day? Right here. So technically what would happen is the shooting star, I had 1 day to get out of there if I wanted the maximum profit. Sometimes it's not perfect. But then my stop loss should have triggered right here. Let's say it slippage and it kicked me out at 0.3490. 2 times right here. 2 times opportunity to get out. And then we would have made approximately 21.67%. So 21% after exchange fees on crypto. That's the controlled way to trade. That is the correct way to trade with controlled risk management. Okay? So why am I spending 38 minutes on this? Because you can tell controlled risk management trading can make or break a trader's account. Meaning it's the difference between blowing up an account, going bankrupt versus controlled trades. Because let's just say we're up $2,500 right now. Right? How can we keep compounding that to have more gains? I'm going to have to practice. So the way to do that is I could use bar replay, but now I have to add in the risk management tool. And you have to train yourself as a trader. This is probably the most underrated tool in all of TradingView. The risk management tools for long or short. It is my favorite tool out of everything here. Because why? It actually helps you control your money. Right? None of these do that. This is charting for the price, but this helps you control your actual trading, your buying and selling of your account. This is the rule that helps you. When a trader has a lot of green money in their eyes, like when they're up in the money, and when they're high up here, right? You get emotional high because you made money, right? You're like, oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna keep going. Oh, Cardano's gonna go 25 cents. I'm gonna make so much money. And you start looking, you're not even looking at the screen anymore, right? Then a stop loss like this, risk reward saying, wait, if I bought down here and I'm walking my stop loss up, put my stop loss just in case it crashes on me, I walk away a winner. I walk away with the profit, right? Right at that, right here. Like I could say, put my stop loss. As soon as I lose that, I want the exchange to sell it for me. Sell it for me. And I get into profit. So now, to wrap up this example, let's say, I don't know, is it going to keep going higher or not? It's making an uptrend, so the chances are it's slightly higher. I'm prepared two ways. If this is a support play and it's going to bounce up to the upside, I need to long it again using controlled risk reward ratios, 2 to 1 at least, 4 to 1. If it's crypto, up to 4 to 1 or 10 to 1. Whatever you're trying to do, 10 to 1 is kind of high. 4 to 1. If it's going to crash on me, I'm getting my short ready if you're an international trader with much, much more controlled risk so I don't blow up my leverage. And meaning I have control loss. Excuse me. I have control loss. Here, right? 2 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1, like this. And making sure that if it's going to dump, I need to make sure I'm going to lose the support. If it doesn't, I'm going to go long here again. Let's test the theory. On this control risk, 10% stop loss either direction, I'm ready to execute either way. Oh, it's not going down. So let's try to long it. This is actually kind of too late because I'm on triple speed. Let me slow it down. I would have longed it here because it almost dumped. Did you guys see that? It almost dumped out of here. It looked like it was going to reject, but then, oh no, the upset. Surprise, we'll keep going higher because Bitcoin actually recovered after that, right? So now I'm here. Now my stop loss, 10%. It's kind of high. It's kind of FOMOing at this point a little bit, but you know, if you're trying to cash, let's just see what happens. Still control risk. It's not coming down. Okay, just walk my stop loss up. Walk my stop loss up, and then my take profit. Actually, the next day I would have take profit. So it's sell here. So this is a very, very short trade, very small trade, but that's still 20%. You see that? I risk 10%, try to get 20%. This money thing is off, by the way, the P&L. But I hope you understand. How does somebody keep controlling what they're doing in the market? Does everyone understand what I'm trying to do here? Right? It's all about the entry, like this example, the last 5 minutes here. It's all about entry, take profit. It's actually about stop loss first, and then it's about take profit. You want to have that ratio always. Always. That's how you manage risk. And then the hardest part will be when you have a loss, I have to look myself in the mirror. And as a trader, it's not just looking yourself in the mirror, but you have to practice physically. Physically taking a small loss and walking away. Sometimes that's the hardest challenge. If you're a day trader, you know what I'm talking about. Is if your maximum loss is, let's say, $500 a day, or if you're a beginner, $100 a day loss. So you're trying to make $200, your 2 to 1 play, right? Let's say this is the ratio, 5%, 10% on the upside. Let's say, but in dollar amounts, let's pretend you're trying to make 200 and then you're risking 100, right? Now, let's execute that in real life. Let's go back here on card. Let me use Bitcoin. Let's use Bitcoin, pretend we're trading Bitcoin again. On a Wanda, back this up, bar replay to a random point in time. Back then, let's pretend, let's make it hard mode. Let's go into a downtrend, right? Let's pretend somebody's trying to come in back when Bitcoin was at the literal top, the 20,000 top, right? This might have happened to a lot of people like this is, right? It's literally at the top of the market right here. So now what am I going to do? Okay, well, if I'm trying to prepare for it, let's say I just started as Bitcoin, let's say at this point. Now with resistance support, I know this resistance here, support level here. So what I need to watch out for is if this breaks down at any of these two spots. Let's pretend I'm long only, because a lot of people in America or with smaller accounts, you cannot short, right? On your exchange or just don't have the funds to short. Let's pretend I'm long only. And I'll give myself hard mode, 5% stop loss with 10% target. And my maximum loss is, let's say 1 to 500. I might have to make it bigger because Bitcoin at this point is $20,000. So let's make it a $500 loss with a 1,000% gain, right? And watch the P&L down here. So I'm using this risk reward ratio. Let's try to make this happen. Okay, it's coming down. Oh, we have a nice reversal signal, right? Bullish engulfing. This is a really tight stop loss, by the way. It's almost not realistic, but let's see if it's going to make it up to the top or not. Hypothetical, just buy one right now. Let it go. That's looking bad, right? So already stopped out. So you can see sometimes in Bitcoin and crypto, even if you have super tight stop loss, right, you're still going to have considerable amount of loss. It's because we're playing with one right now. We're playing with 15,000. So I would have to do a decimal fraction to make this more realistic. But you understand what I'm saying? If it's still $500 to $1,000 loss per day, this is a bad day, right? So you flatten that out, take the loss, move on, right? And I understand. Once I saw that shooting star in real life, I would have got out of there. No way I'm staying in there. Let's see if it's going to crash. All right, so it's starting to crash. Oh, I'm long only. So no shorting. Flatten. I would have shorted that in real life, right? Start to move around. Right there, right? Would have shorted that in real life. So it's going down. Let me look for a reversal signal somewhere down here. There's a hammer candle, so I could try to play this one. If let's say I got burned on that first one up there, right? Got burned on it. Let me put a buy order up here. The 10% stop loss. Let me try to get this 20% volatility on Bitcoin. That's not good. It's actually looking like it's going to go down. It might dump on me again. So that's the problem being a long in a downtrend. You don't know how far and when the bounces are going to go. But let's just pretend I'm a beginner and I like this thing. I like the setup, intermediate. Is it going to go up or not? Nope, dump, another stop, right? Got stopped out again. So that's why sometimes trying to long in a downtrend can be very risky and difficult. Because you have to time the exact bottom, not relative bottom. So let's just say I'm stubborn trader and I say, okay, I see some kind of setup, but it's still downtrending like this. Draw some charts. And I'm thinking, okay, this might bounce at some point back up to 13,700. I'm stubborn trader. Let's just long it again. Nope, I'm not going up yet. Another failed trade. You see that? Another failed trade. So now you have to start thinking to yourself as a trader, do I even want to do this right now or not? Right? Because now we're down negative 4,433. Not good, right? Not good. So that's why sometimes the best intentions, you're like, I still have the risk reward ratio, but I'm playing with a large position size. Why is it not working? Because it's a downtrend. Because if we zoom out and understand what we're doing here, we had all this Bitcoin gains previous here, and I'm trying to play the end of that. Some could consider that FOMO, right? So let's cancel all this. Don't look at the ending here. Let's go rewind. How would I do it in real life? Like if it was real me, no FOMO charts doing this. If I was trying to long here, patience. Why? It's too high. It's too high. Just let it go. Let it go. What I've learned over time is if I see something like this, don't buy it. Don't buy it, and then just watch it carefully. So first thing I see is, okay, maybe it's going to bounce off of that, which it did. If I lose this, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. If it dumps here, I'm not going to buy it. Yep. So I'm already in my mind. I know that's a spot to short right here on this setup. You have this, you lose it, you short that. If you're long, you sell right there, right? Discipline. Keep going. Downtrend continues. Symmetrical triangle sideways. It's not going up, so probably open up in this short right there. Down, down, down. Now we had the hammer candle, right? So maybe I could buy there just for a little bit, but right, the last hammer candle was a fake, so I'm not really a believer in this right now. I believe that, okay, something bad happened, and we're in this downtrend right now. I'm looking to go short in real life. Trying to recover, just barely recovered. Nice play. Now short the top of that. Now there's a double top here, right? So that's a bearish signal that we're going to come down most likely. Start to come down. We're retesting that resistance on the ceiling. I want to dump down back to like 6,000 area. Bull's trying to survive. Hitting that support of 67, 6,600. Very not so. Okay, so why did it bounce here? It was very quiet right here. You see that? It kind of went sideways for a little bit. Why? Because there's support. Once I understand this concept, support, liquidity, there's relative level of support here. So the last time it got here, there's a bounce. So then it's going to start to target the top side of this 9,000 area. Could have longed it there. But for me, I'm much more patient than that in real life. Yes, in real life, probably I might have entered here, but if I'm extremely patient, just wait. Just wait, because we had a crazy crash. Wait to see where is this really going to go. Resistance. Nice. Going up to 9,000. Is it going to keep going, yes or no? Looks like no for now. Right? We had another double top. That's not good. We had a double bottom here for reversal. Aggressive trader, we would have played that. Could have made 20, 30% there. Right? Keep playing. It's going to crash back down where it's 7,000 or lower. Let me speed up here. All right. So it's getting back to that support level. So now we're in a consolidation phase going sideways. Now's the dump. Here's the dump, right? Had that one chance we might go up on Bitcoin, fail, lost the support, so I would short this. I want this thing to go lower over time. There it is. The shorts opening the positions, bulls fighting back, shorts fighting back. Oh, wait a second. Here's an important reversal, upside down head and shoulders with the neckline breakout. So here's a real pattern that appeared, right? So where are the patterns that have appeared? There was a double top here, a V-shaped recovery, hammer candle here, double top here, double bottom, double top, and then triple bottom. So then I like the triple bottom. I will buy on risk. Last major candle was about 15% down, so I'm targeting 30% at the top of the channel. This is not crazy. This is actually regular Bitcoin trading. So I'll just buy now, let it run. Almost didn't get it, right? Had to weave up my stop loss here. That's why sometimes when you're buying in a downtrend, dangerous, right? So if I tried to play this, I probably would have moved my stop loss up in real life, tighten it up, and then get stopped out here. But let's say I didn't, and then I got forced out. Let's see what happens next. It's going to dump. So this upside down head and shoulder was totally fake. We hit this level of support. Would have been good to long right here, right? Why? Because the level of support. There are liquidity buyers there. So this could be a long-term double bottom play, but Something doesn't feel right on the charts, right? Because it's still going sideways. We're not actually going up yet. So I'm just gonna back off on this one for a little bit. Right? And then turn into another fake out. It's getting stuck below that 65,000 level. Something doesn't seem right. It's very quiet. You see that? Very quiet. Are we uptrending, sideways, or downtrending? We're sideways. So unless it goes up, there's a higher chance it's going to dump down. So I'm not going to buy that long. So in real life, I didn't buy much Bitcoin throughout this whole 2018 period. When it went this way, I didn't even touch it that much at all in real life. Something felt wrong. And we had the Bitcoin Cash Civil War right there. And that's what happens. Right? Bitcoin Cash Civil War. We had the coin split on BCH. And then the whole market crashed. So I avoided that using technical analysis, because once I understood that this is supposed to be bullish. We had support here, but then we had descending triangle as well, right? So bar replay, the patterns practice, the risk management practice, just doing it over and over again. Now we dumped here. I know that in indicators oversold land, so I'm getting more interested in this. Right? Let's pretend I had that leftover loss from back here, that down $1,000. Who cares? Right? In terms of risk management trading. Now, I'm getting interested in it because it's kind of low. Low, it's dumping. Let me see. Is there anything we want? Yeah. I like this, right? I see it upside down, head and shoulders after a dump. What was the measure move here? About 40%. We went about 40%. So I believe this could be some kind of bottom. Same risk reward, maybe 10% or 20, 15%. I'm targeting 25, 30% up here. Let's just go and see what happens here. Oh, this one got dumped out too, right? But control risk, that's a failed opportunity. Let's see what keeps happening. Right? Oh, but there's something different here. Now another pattern emerges. So all the bulls, we got burnt back here. I still remember that. But the higher low right here, higher high, higher low. So this is now a potential new trend forming. So I like this. Again, stubborn bulls. A beginner might say the market's rigged, market's scam. I'm out. It's all about patience, right? So I'm back in. Patience. I like this high low pattern. There we go. See, we all felt that in the market. There was another upside down head and shoulders. So it took 3 of them over a period of a year for us to get out of that bear market. And then we have the big, yep, there we go. We had the big Bitcoin buyer at that time. So here, right, I actually traded on this day. I remember this day, April 1st, 2019. I would long Bitcoin, right? Because I was on, quick story. I was on the computer watching charts, and I was on the internet, and I saw all of a sudden all the altcoins, the Bitcoin, it had a huge green number on the watches. I still remember there's like 10%, and it kept going higher. I was like, what is going on? What is going on right now? Why are all the cryptos red except for Bitcoin? I was so confused, but I said, you know what? I don't need to know what's happening. There's actually, the analysis back then was there's an ascending triangle here. Back then, and that's a bullish sign. Right? Bullish sign, going to 20%. We hit that 20%. What's the next target? 40%. Third target, 60%. So now you can see we're not in a downtrend anymore. We're starting to go in an uptrend. So I like that. And most bulls know, first big pullback, we buy that. I buy more if it pulls back, or if it breaks out of the triangle. I'm going to buy more. Right? It's a continuation move. Wow. Yay, right? So I still remember this is exactly how I played it. I saw the ascending triangle, 25%. We had that big breakout. For like 2 days, I was thinking, what's going on right here? And then huge, big breakout. Now, this turned into another triangle, rectangle, like a Darvas box. And I said, all right, if it breaks down, I'm going to take my profit. If it breaks out, I'm going to long more. And that's exactly what I did. And then it's all about, let's pretend I'm only playing 2 Bitcoins. It's all about, where am I going to get out of here? So I'm starting to walk my stop loss up. I still have about like a 10% stop loss. First, I might have sold here, 7,000 for a trade. Let's see if he keeps going up or not. At a certain point, got to get out. Bearish divergence. All right, it's making, I know this play, this is bearish divergence, right? On the RSI, it's overbought, starting to lose momentum, MACD histogram down. Or if I don't use any indicators, draw one line like this. As soon as I lose here, I'm out. I'm going to sell all of it. No, we went higher. Whoa, we went even higher, right? So then now it's move my stop loss again. All right, now if it comes down, dump out of here, then I'm out. Yeah, then I'm out. Flatten everything, right? So we made 10K on that. It's not that much, but there's only 2 Bitcoins. But that's back when Bitcoin was $4,000, right? So as a trader, if you think about it, 4,000, you fast forward to 65,000. That's the difference between an investment and a trade. But in this relative moment in time, nobody knew Bitcoin is going to 65K. We just play. If you're swing trading, you just play what's in front of you, right? So I hope this makes sense to everybody. I actually did 1 hour class of what not to do and then what to do at the end. It's probably too much information, to be honest, for a lot of people. But I did want to show the honest what happens if people how can people blow up their account, going short, going long? How can people manage their risk properly so they walk away with consistent profits? What kind of strategies am I using? What kind of candles am I using? It wasn't perfect examples today, but this is real practice, right? Real examples. So let's erase everything. Just for fun. Let's see. Did it go higher? Yeah, we had that one double bottom bounce. If I was short, I would have prepared to short this because I feel the weakness. It's going sideways. Once we lose that support, I will short this bad boy. Bitcoin down. 10% stop loss, 20% target. Let's see. Once I lose that, it's still surviving. There we go. I'm short 2 Bitcoins right now. In the profit, small amount of profit. Wow, that's always never good to see. It hit my profit target exactly, so I had to be disciplined to get out of there, but we're going triple speed right now. We still managed to survive that. You see that? If the stop loss was still up here, it didn't actually go anywhere near that. It pierced very, very scarily to 10,000, but that's just another spot to short. And then let's just pretend I am taking my discipline. Only $2,000 here, right? Not really that much money. Okay, so I think that's enough examples for today. I will probably do some more examples next time. This is a very, very, very thorough examples of like what not to do and what to do in the market. So remember, everyone, long story short, manage risk with 2-to-1 ratios, whether you're going long or short. And when you're going short, probably have to reduce the capital position size because there's leverage. And for paper trading, please consider practicing entry, take profit, and stop loss. And if you're bar replay, consider practicing with the risk-reward ratio and maybe slow it down a little bit just to hone your skills. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for watching, especially people in the last half here. And I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have an X group as well. Remember, we have Federal Reserve meeting this week, Apple earnings and volatility in crypto stocks. Maybe we might get a bounce. We'll see. In crypto, we might get a pullback. So just watch out for that this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.